the business of field and test engineering?
Primary litigation support.
And when you say litigation support, does that mean evaluating a potential case and offering an opinion?
Correct.
All right. I noticed that, and I won't go through your CV other than to inquire about a couple of things. There's an indication under the education portion of your materials, page 2 of 4, your CV, that you attended Arizona State University in 1987 and took a course, apparently, entitled Tort Liability in Street and Highways. What can you tell us about that?
Not much. I was the state forensic engineer for the state of Arizona, and it was something that I felt would be a good course to have in that position.
Was that a one-quarter course?
I believe so.
And you were employed by whom at the time?
The Arizona Department of Transportation.
And your CV at page 3 states that was with the Highways Division.
Correct.
And you were designated tort liability engineer for the Highways Division, liaison to the state engineer and the Attorney General's office, correct?
Correct.
What were your responsibilities as tort liability engineer for the Highways Division?
I was responsible for accident reconstruction, for monitoring issues that might become litigation related, and for testifying when necessary in relation to matters. I was also a counsel to the state engineer on certain matters when he would ask questions about settlements and so forth and so on.
All right. Did the state of California have a risk manager, a state risk manager at that time?
Don't think they had a state risk manager, no.
All right. Was there a group of people other than the state engineer involved in evaluating highway cases that are brought against the state of California?
What time period are you speaking of?
When you were with the Highways Division of
Arizona?
Arizona. I'm sorry, and I said California. I meant to say Arizona.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's my
You
fault.
had me confused there. I'm trying to jump around a little bit.
Let's go back to Arizona for a second.
Okay.
Was there a group in Arizona? First of all, let me go back to the first question. Was there a risk manager for the state of Arizona?
Yes.
And did you give advice to that individual as well as the state engineer?
Yes, I did.
And what sort of advice would you give? Did you evaluate liability issues in these various cases filed against the state of Arizona?
Not in a sense percentage-wise as such, but whether we had liability or not, I did express opinions on that.
And you were with the Arizona Department of Transportation over what period of time?
From 85 through 88, and then from 96 through 98, I believe.
What were your responsibilities in the second tour of duty?
I was a statewide intermodal transportation project manager.
And what did that involve?
The state of Arizona handles their design work through Phoenix, their headquarters. And so all of the project management and design goes on in the headquarters office. And I was one of approximately 10, I guess, project managers that oversaw all the projects that were going on, either in design and or construction throughout the state.
You were no longer involved with liability evaluations at that point?
I was flying back and forth each week. I worked Monday through Thursday with Arizona, and I was working with Vollmer Gray still, 3 days a week.
All right. Also located in Arizona?
No, Vollmer Gray was in California.
California. And what sort of work did you do with Volmer Gray?
Litigation support.
When you were with the Arizona Department of Transportation, were you aware of cases brought against the state in which a transportation engineer from Olympia, Washington, Edward Stevens, was a consulting transportation engineer?
Have no recollection of that.
All right, you were also with the California Department of Transportation, correct?
Correct.
District traffic engineer?
One position, yes.
And what did that involve?
The lead district traffic engineer is responsible for traffic design, which is all of the permanent traffic engineering elements of various projects within the district. In addition, I was the chair of the District Safety Review Committee, which was a group of senior engineers that reviewed all design and construction projects prior to their being accepted.
You have been involved with the development of the manual and uniform traffic control devices, have you not?
Correct.
And what has been the nature of your work with the committee?
I am a full-time active contributing member, voting member.
And you're aware that Gerson Alexander is also a member of that committee?
I believe I read that. I don't know everyone on the committee, I can tell you that.
I note that, and I haven't made this an exhibit, I can if need be, but there are minutes from a Signals Technical Committee for June 11th and 12th, 2003 in Savannah, Georgia. Do you recall attending that?
Yes.
And there's a presentation by you, apparently, at page 5 of 7 of this document. Item 17, Task Force Reports and Recommendations, A, Task Force 4A, 4B, 4F-4L. Is that a task force that you were involved with?
Correct. Was the chairman.